Live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report alongside Seth Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino on day 39 and probably day 37, Seth, where as we came on the air, it is beautiful out. Once again, a little warmer this morning than some of the recent days, but it's gorgeous up here once again. And remember, we have a 12:35 post time. You said today and tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, so we got 12:35 after 12:05 yesterday, which was good for me because the wedding didn't begin till 1, so I already had the early double in before I got to the ritual. So big day. I said earlier in the week, probably on Friday, when I had finished the 13 race card at Saratoga and the 11 race card at Del Mar last night, that I think the Breeders' Cup will be easier for me. And actually, I got out with my life. I think I lost about $5 or $7 in New York, and really kind of was the windshield at Del Mar last night. And in case you missed it, I was hoping against hope, and Seth has a broader media background than me, and it was hope against hope, but I was hoping there was a bullet point on ESPN.com for Flightline's race.
And? No.
Right. Hope against hope. And I know we see it from a different lens, but I would say since Spectacular Bid's walkover, it might be the greatest dirt performance I've seen.
It was.
And in case you were at a wedding where people snarled at you for looking at your phone, I went for a walk at SPAC, so I didn't have to get any looks because I thought this might happen. I hoped it would happen. I thought I'd get $2.30. It actually came back $2.60.
All right. Well,
What?
Oh my God! While you were talking, I was typing in looking because I didn't see a buyer.
Oh, 125?
126.
Yeah.
16 minutes ago came out from the Daily Racing Forum. 126 buyer. Wow. Amidst the track record by a fraction of a second, less than a fifth of a second, missed the track record. But what? Flavien Prat was not riding for the last 80 yards at least?
No. I was just like, it just goes to show you how we, the sport, we can't get the message out there besides really Derby Day, Preakness, and if there's a Triple Crown, Belmont Day. Breeders' Cup, usually the only bullet point you see on ESPN.com. And I use that as a focal point, kind of like the buyer speed figures, to see how much light of day you're going to see. And in my opinion, and, honestly, like I said, it's not hyperbole. I think since the Bid's walkover, this was it. So we don't show very many replays in the morning, but I know it was about 8:30 at night, and it's out on the West Coast, and it's Flightline. And Dave Grenning made the great point that woke me up was, it was only raced once this year. Technically.
Before we look, let me remind people that
who was in there?
Country Grammar was the Dubai World Cup winner this year.
So this isn't like Secretariat
just keep that in
and
mind.
Twice a Prince the Claimer. This is the Dubai World Cup winner with Johnny V. So let's go to, well, for us, last evening's Pacific Classic.
The TVG Pacific Classic. And there's the roar from the crowd as the field for the Pacific Classic sent on their way. They all came away to an even beginning. Extra Hope on the inside. Country Grammar in the white colors right there. Flightline is in the center of the track now. He's going to be caught wide at this stage, but he might drop in later. He's getting over a little. In behind that comes Royal Ship, and on the outside, Stiletto Boy, Express Train. No more than 2.5 lengths separates the lot. And let's see, Flightline's going to go on with it now. He's caught a little wide, but Flightline goes up to join Extra Hope as the pace setters. In behind that, we have Express Train. Country Grammar scrapes the paint in the white, just 2 lengths separates all those runners. Then comes Stiletto Boy and Royal Ship, impatiently ridden by Mike Smith, content to trail early, 5 off them. Down the backstretch they go. Extra Hope at the rail. Flightline now right up alongside and pretty keen to go on. Express Train is a joint third. Country Grammar at this stage is 4.5 lengths off the favourite. Behind that comes Royal Ship and Stiletto Boy. A half mile to go, and Flightline doesn't want to wait. Flightline's picked up the running now, and he kicks on to lead it by a length with a half mile to go, and now he's widening. Flightline makes it 2, now 3 as they go into the far turn. Extra Hope is next. Country Grammar down at the rail. Stiletto Boy, Express Train, and still last is Royal Ship's going to come running, but he's got a good 10 lengths to make up on Flightline. Let's see, a quarter of a mile to go in the Pacific Classic. Flavion Pratt and Flightline are an embarrassing lead. It must be 15 lengths as they turn for home now. And let's see, Flavion Pratt just shakes the reins at Flightline. And take a good look at this, because you're not going to see this too often, maybe never again. Flightline, 20 lengths clear. Flavion Pratt takes a hold and canters in the TVG Pacific Classic. Second place will go to Country Grammar. Then came Royal Ship, Express Train, Extra Hope, and Stiletto Boy.
We are back. Again, an incredible performance last night. Yesterday, obviously 4 hours earlier, out in Southern California, a 126 buyer, final time 159.28. Again, a mere fraction of a second. I think Trevor Denman said 0.17 off the track record, and as you could see in the video there, Flavion Pratt gearing down significantly the last 80 yards or so, so there's no telling how much he could have broken the track record by if he was pushed a little bit, but man, that was some performance.
I mean, we had Arrogate's Travers up here where he was sub 24 for the final quarter mile, and I said it then, and we had the late great Matt Graves on the next day, and I fervently believe it to this day. If he had run out the extra quarter mile, he was going to eclipse 224. He was not slowing down. He was full of energy, and Matt thought it was kind of ridiculous. And I understand that people like to protect their youth, but yesterday he would have crushed it. He would have, it was just, what gets me is, and this is just like what a pace guy says, when you watch the Whitney, because we start on the turn, the second quarter mile is often faster than the first one. With him yesterday, they have, Churchill Downs and Delmar are the 1 mile tracks, so that long quarter mile run, it's a straightaway. His second quarter mile on the turn was faster. And the most brilliant moment for me was actually, it appeared for a 1/5 of a second that he was going to get caught 4 wide, that Flavion had purposely chosen the middle of the track to stay out. But I don't think that's the case. It was like he saw that, and he literally jumped forward and got the 2-path. He just I know I can chirp and get over and not get hung out wide. And then he just, smashed the race apart with a half a mile to go. It's just one of the great performances of my lifetime. And probably, as I said, on the dirt, really, it's Secretariat, Arrogate for me, and Spectacular Bid Stroop Stakes, where he set the still standing world record. I mean, just, just unbelievable. And I'm glad I was watching it live. I wish I was around more people that could understand what they were watching. And I wish ESPN had put just a little bullet point and get it out there that, true brilliance at the classic American distance. And it kind of validates all of the words that have been written and talked about for a horse that's run once.
Yeah, once this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was once this year, and now 5 times overall, 5 for 5.
Imagine him as a stallion now, 7/8, a mile, and a mile and a quarter. Like 3 of the most prestigious races at that distance he's won.
5 starts, and after yesterday, what about 1.3 or $4 million in the bank? It's just been
one of the few times I'd be interested in the syndication.
Incredible career, and yeah, again, congratulations to our friends at West Point. They're part owners, and don't forget this one was bought right up here.
$1 million, right? Is it $1 million?
A couple of years ago.
He's
$1 million,
which is just amazing. I mean, it's just great. It is just
right down the street.
And probably the most shocking thing for me was he paid $260. I was expecting $230, something like Annapolis yesterday. I don't know, but what a great moment. And just to make sure you got it right, Flavien run the Del Mar handicap, the walkout race at about 9:30 last night. He's going to be here today with Johnny V to ride, but I think he won 4 yesterday, Flavien. I mean, just, showed him, came back to visit to let him know who's boss.
I think he's headed back for the end of Del Mar, too.
So
when Saratoga ends.
I thought they closed on the same day.
Saratoga, I thought Del Mar won another week.
No. In the old days, Del Mar used to run the Futurity on Wednesday, but they've kind of closing day, and they're running the Futurity on Monday. It's been Labor Day for years now.
Okay.
There's no extension. I mean, heck, when we were kids, they set a week ahead of time and run 2 weeks after, but Saratoga caught up with them now. And actually, I think Saratoga runs more days than Del Mar, because Del Mar doesn't run on Wednesday.
Well, then I think he's going out to ride at Santa Anita.
Santa Anita
because I think he's going back out to Southern California, at least in the interim.
Well, he was very good, especially when he got warmed up here, the second half of his stay here. But I hope if you didn't see it live last night, we're very happy to bring it to you, because it doesn't come along very often, and he was something else. And I was watching the whole paddock thing, and as you said, you made a good point. I mean, that was Country Grammar behind him. He beat him by 19 1/4. Country Grammar. He won in Maidan. This is not a joke. He crushed good, solid handicap horses. And, Olympiad was very good at the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
I am being told in my ear that Del Mar does have another week left. So I am being told from the highest sources at OTB that they have another week left. So, but another note also, Kentucky Downs, which is all turf. If there's inclement weather, they go to the sidelines. And so I think they lost some races yesterday, and they lost today. But they'll be racing tomorrow. So keep that in mind. If you're Kentucky Downs fans, they're in action tomorrow to make up for the weather situation half of yesterday and today. So Kentucky Downs action make for a fun Monday, obviously, a fun Labor Day, adding to the...
Labor Day used to be one of the most heavy trafficked days of the year. Remember when old River Downs used to run the Cradle? There was stakes races everywhere. Remember the Penn Derby used to be on Labor Day?
I remember when, was it Calder used to run on Christmas Day?
Yeah, I remember that.
No, Christmas Day is now.
No, that's the dark day. So I guess now it's coming to light why Del Mar opened up on the 20th then instead of Saratoga week. They're going to run a weekend, which kind of shortens the time before they get to Santa Anita. I guess it's only going to be about 2 weeks before they get to the Santa Anita meet, because now Santa Anita opens a week earlier than it used to, because obviously the Breeders' Cup preps, etc. So. Great day of racing here yesterday. Warlike Goddess got beat. Well, I think she was 1-5, maybe 1-9. No, I think she was 1-9.
Yeah,
she got beat in the Flower Bowl.
Walked the dog out.
They did.
End a little bit.
That's it. She got beat. The pace set her up. A good ride by Irad Ortiz. Got the victory.
26:53, 119.
119.
Oof. I was perfectly happy with it. I had Warlike Goddess on top, but I had used Virginia Joy also in a pick 4, and so it wound up kind of coming up, paid 120 something that late pick 4, but if Warlike Goddess had won, it was going to be even less than that. So I was happy with the result.
And I have to check my notes, but Naira does something weird this week, and that is they're splitting the week with the rails, which is rare. Usually you get a full run, but I think
they were out there working on it. Was it yesterday
yeah,
or the day
they
before?
dropped
yesterday.
the inner ones and put them back up on the melon, which is
they were out there working on that.
You so you got that going for you.
We didn't mention here Jockey Club Olympiad.
I said it.
Olympiad,
I said it. Said Olympia got overshadowed. He wouldn't.
Oh well, I am moving.
I got overshadowed.
I am moving him to I am moving him to out of the shadow a little bit.
Okay.
Olympia
he was brilliant.
Looking pretty good coming back.
I ran third
and I
there.
wonder if it wasn't a Malathat. I wonder if earlier this summer some performances were due, because now that we're getting to more comfortable weather, it's easy to forget that almost the first month, but certainly there was a couple of days. There was a few days, more than a few, of heavy heat and humidity, which I'm sure.
Did you see what Marcus Hirsch wrote on Twitter?
No.
Great line, maybe the line of the year. Does anybody have photos of Olympiad coming in at 4 a.m. on Whitney Day? He was off his game, a little late night carousing, but great day. And
I'll also toss out Annapolis Taste of Saranac, but I'll also toss out there was maybe a first-time starter to kind of pay attention to going forward, because I thought for Al Gold and Gold Square Racing, Al Gold and Brad Cox, Instant Coffee, I thought looked very good debut yesterday.
It would have been really good if you liked him before, because basically it was 7 favorites, 3 second choices, right? He paid $30.
And that will lead me into that. Andy Byer, the venerable and legendary Andy Byer, came back to Saratoga with the pandemic. A lot of people didn't make Saratoga the last couple of years. Andy Byer hadn't been here. Typically, when he makes a visit, he sits over with Andy Sterling for Talking Horses before the card, and he did that yesterday. And during the day, I was kind of paying attention to his picks and just curious to see how he did on his return to Saratoga. And I tweeted out last night, "Welcome back to Saratoga, Mr. Byer. 9 winners on top, including Instant Coffee at $31.
Yeah, he said Brad Cox wins everything. Well, he won the ones that counted. So Andy Byer.
Nice day for Andy Byer.
Lock it up. The poll play of the day will be at the top of the hour. So as I said, we had 7 favorites, 3 second choices, and Instant Coffee. And I guess 2 third choices, one of which was mine, Customs Bobby. But we'll fight it out to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I think I am $9 behind. If they let me commingled, we crushed them at Del Mar, I'd be way ahead, but that's not how the game plays. I'll have 44 successful days, but we are about $9 underwater here, and here we go. Opener, state breds, fillies, state breds, 2-year-olds, maiden special weights, 5.5 on the melon. The rail will be at 12 feet.
I have 6 of them listed. I have 3, 11, 2, 10. I thought the 5 and the 7 were playable, but I'll land on Nobilis. I'm guessing George Weaver trainee by Speightster. That one of those horses we talk about fairly often with first-timers. So far this year, Speightster, 59 first-time starters, 10 winners, 9 seconds, 3 thirds. Pretty solid numbers. 20 times out of 59 in the exacta with first-time starters. And the dam has produced some win early type siblings. There's a sibling, called Never Forget that won her debut. Never Forget Her that won debut. And then No Bang, No Boom, third in debut, won the second start. So I thought there was a lot of win early top and bottom, some good workouts. I'll land in that direction. Not with a lot of confidence because, again, I think it's a kind of a fun, interesting, and open race. Disarmed, if that one gets in from the AEs, this is one where went off as a short price, and so I kind of thought, and then had trouble, and it was kind of legit trouble. I went back and watched the race. We said yesterday, if you see those trouble lines, maybe sometimes go back and take a look to see and judge for yourself. This was trouble. This horse really got stymied, and Jack had to pull up significantly and never got back into it. But that this horse went off at a short price chalky favorite, I thought was intriguing. I will note, McLean's Music I like as a win early sire. The siblings were not necessarily win early, though, the dam's produce. So I was a little bit back and forth, but that this horse took that kind of money in debut. If Disarm gets in, I think you have to pay attention. Bobby the Tank, yet another one with some experience. This one for Chad Brown. Showed a little oomph before fading in debut. Wouldn't be surprised if we see improvement today. Chase in you, the first-time starter on the outside. if Disarm doesn't get in, maybe take a look at that one. There was a sibling called Road to Remember that took 11 starts to win, but the debut effort ran second at 29-1, so maybe a little win early there as well. I have a 3, 11, 2, and 10.
And as I talked about a couple of times, the Stallion Spicetown, his big three are Central Banker, who's had a good meet, Munnings, who is terrific, and Spicer. I'm sorry to think, Seth, we're not going to see 6-1 on our top pick. For second, Curly, Larry, and Mo makes the third career start. Nice on debut. Regression now goes to turf for the first time. And first time starter number 1, Joyful Ghost. An offspring of Shaman Ghost for Linda Rice, who was the first trainer I saw this morning. 3, 5, and 1. She actually gave me the right of way here to Clare Court, which, by the way, because how beautiful summer it's been, we didn't have the typical flooding under the bridge.
That's right. There was no closed tunnel this year.
Not
Usually
at all.
There's a few days where
you need a canoe to get through it.
Second race at Saratoga, plain vanilla $40,000 claimers, 3/4 of a mile.
Right down the line here. 3, 4, 5, Happy Farm, Flavian Prat. And, as a person who, because of the Rams, takes a lot of cross-country trips, I'd be interested to know how they made it. It is hard to get here to upstate New York by noon. He rode at Del Mar. He rode at Del Mar at about 9:30, crossing the finish line in the Del Mar handicap, the 11 furlong turf race, and you can get to JFK by about 7 a.m. So my point is, I wonder if there's a private jet involved here somewhere.
I would think that's possible. I would also think,
even if it's just a short one from New York City up to here.
I would think that's possible. I also think it's possible that when the scratches and changes are listed, the first 2 or 3 races, maybe
they don't make it.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
I'm always curious in those situations.
Because it is difficult here, and San Diego Airport is no LAX, so there's not as many options to get here. Hero Tiger, my second choice, been very sharp over at Monmouth. Ships in here for the Saratoga debut, and one of the great oxymorons in life, cold as hell, takes blinkers off today. 3, 4, 5.
3, 2, 6, and 4. I put Happy Farm on top, off the claim for this price. It was a very similar event. These are the kind where I think, why not right back? Moves into Danny Gargan barn. He's good off the claim. So off a similar race and win last time. Excuse me, I'll go back to Happy Farm. Greeley and Ben was entered yesterday. I think, I want to say 62.5 yesterday. And that was maybe a little bit of a question mark off a couple of stakes tries. But they did claim the horse for 62.5, so that was a little more palatable. Had an entry mate in there, and the entry mate ran. But now comes back for 40, so the drop is a little bit of a concern, maybe. Third spot, I'll go with Montauk Daddy, who has been racing in some optional claimers. I would think this is a class move that, again, they claimed this one for 25 going back to May and has run very nicely since the claim, 3 wins. So this economically it makes sense. Get a win up at Saratoga, and if the horse gets taken away, they're still in great shape. So for me, in the second, 3, 2, 6, and 4.
And just a quick note, because we had a 3-way split in the divisions of that 7 furlong race, and 2 of them were the firsters, Instant Coffee. Danny Gargan's looked pretty good too, the firster that people bet down to almost 6-5, and Steve Asmus, the second time starter, powerful. I don't know if it's the first time we've had a 3-way split with baby races going 7/8, but they all ran good times. Instant Coffee's, who was by far the biggest price. The other 2 were the chalk, but Instant Coffee ran the fastest raw time of it. And on that day where I don't think much weather changed, I would figure he's going to get the highest buyer speed figure. On to the third, on to the inner turf course for the first time. 3-year-olds and up fillies in for 32. Mile and 16. 2,
3, 7, and 5 State Crown on top. Comes in from Presque Isle. Off a nice win. I think what we've seen so far this year, I'm always a little bit concerned when you get a pattern, and this is a good, bad pattern, and if the pattern continues, we're in a bad spot. But, sometimes the pattern's just, probably most of the time, the pattern's just a coincidence. But I'm always a little bit concerned about that. However, off the latest, I think, the latest in the 1-3 back, this one is very playable. And I think here, at this level, I think this horse is a nice fit with this bunch. Second spot, Blue Atlas. I might have had this horse on top off the seasonal debut, but the seasonal debut was the seasonal debut. So here we are in September, and this horse has only made one start, and that was back on the 1st of July. So I was a little bit concerned about the situation with only the one start and a little bit of a layoff since then. Talent-wise, this horse, again, fits with this bunch. And then on the outside, Charge Account goes out for Mike Maker with Irod Ortiz on board. Comes off a win against a little bit lesser, but has been racing in and around this level for a while and doing so competitively. And moving into the barn of Mike Maker with Irod Ortiz on board. You have a potent jockey, potent trainer. And on that, might wind up being the one to beat in the third, 2, 3, 7, and 5.
Yeah, I was surprised at this level and the fact we're going to have a gap coming up. Only 7 entered in the main body. I mean, there's going to be no racing in New York until those will be 10 days, right? So it's going to come back on the 15th in that ballpark. So I thought it'd be overflow, but I'm 5-3-2, a couple of it, but Adelaide Miss is my top pick, and I think Rudy is now north of 80 starters at the meet, and I'm not getting 39-1 here, but you know, it's going to turn around. It's just a cyclical thing, and you know, it's probably not high enough price to reach for a barn that's cold. But first off, the $25,000 claim for Rudy. A second place beaten favorite in that race. Charge Account won that race, who's coming back in here. But Rapoli reached in, Mike Rapoli reached in for this runner, an offspring of Vancouver. So we'll see if maybe we get the third victory for Rudy. For second, Blue Atlas, 1 start this year, a victory. Horatio DePaz going very well. And for third, number 2, State Crown. Michael Trambetta's runner comes in off of a 2-turn synthetic victory at Presque Isle, 5-3-2 in the third. We'll take our quick break. When we come back, more live from the backstretch of Saratoga.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Varley and I'm here at the West Condominiums in Saratoga Springs. And guess what? We are down to the home stretch. Everything is 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. Come make a selection of one of the greatest condos ever to be built in Saratoga Springs. We're starting in the upper 5s and the only rooftop penthouse available now under construction. Wow, just look at this patio. We have a rooftop pool, heated garage, balconies, and a gym. Call me at 518-281-6808.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report on this Sunday morning. Boo-hoo. 2 days left. Don't forget, low rollers today. It's a Sunday. So you get your last shot. I need my last shot. Man, those low rollers. The first week I thought this is going to be a great season. I missed just because I made a mistake. I pared down to
You
2
needed
horses.
yesterday's card to beat today.
Yeah, I pared down to a couple of horses in the last race of the first contest I played in, and I went the wrong way or I would have won the contest. So I thought, this is going to be a great season. And I have struggled. I had one other week where I was
It's been the high water mark.
Oh, man. So today I'm hoping I can maybe make a little magic happen on low rollers. But don't forget, you go over to the 4-Star Day Bar, and you can pick up a card. You put $40 in, 10 goes to the prize pool. You get a $30 card. You make 5 $2 win, place, and show bets during the day. And if you're at the top of the pack, you get some of the prize money. It's a lot of fun. You can walk away with a little extra dough. You keep whatever's on your card. And I always say, contests make you think a little bit differently, maybe search for some value during the day. And don't forget, it's also a good intro if you don't do contests, because we do the horse tourneys over at Capital OTB, so you can play the rest of the year as well if you
and a quick
decide
question
you
about
like
that.
contests.
Once the contest underway, like very quickly, you know how many people are in? Does it say like, okay?
Yeah, because there's a leaderboard that you can follow during
Okay.
the day. There's one or two TVs around the place. Down near where they sign up, there's a TV that has the scoreboard, but they also have a QR code that you can put on your phone and you can follow during the day. And so that way you can go down to the end of the list and see where.
I'd be interested to see how many, like today, like it's closing weekend, and it's little more elbow room in many places. See how many go today.
Yeah, but always fun, so keep that in mind for today. All right, as always, after the first commercial break, Dark Horse Play of the Day, brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile, 445 Broadway, downtown Saratoga Springs. The smart bet is always the Dark Horse, and I continue to say, your smart bet, go down and visit the Dark Horse. Don't forget, that will be the game plan even after the season. They're here all year long, and a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say they have made the visit and enjoyed it. Dark Horse in downtown and down the street, Impressions of Saratoga, their sister store. Dark Horse Play of the Day today. Yesterday we ran second, strong quality. Nice run. Late, I don't think we were going to get up there, but coming around the turn, I thought we were kind of live. But still, added some money to the kitty with the place and show prices. Again, Dark Horse is going win, place, and show on these, and all the proceeds at the end of the meet will be donated to the Thoroughbred Retirement Funds. We have a couple of more swings, including today's sixth race. Race 6, number 6, Misintention. Debut was maybe a little bit disappointing. Ran fourth by 15 lengths, but was behind the ultra-impressive Prank, probably one of the most impressive 2-year-old winners at the meet. There are a few horses in this race coming out of that race. I'm totally intrigued to see what they do. Validate what we saw from Prank, we'll find out. But this one, Misintention, goes out for Bill Mott by Into Mischief. If you watch enough, you know that I like Into Mischief quite a bit with first-time starters. Now, this isn't a first-time starter, but those kind of stats show the win early ability. So Into Mischief on top. The dam produced a full sibling who actually won here earlier in the meet, but a full sibling, Jane Gray, who won her debut last year up here at Saratoga at 6-1, going 7 furlongs. So I thought the breeding was very intriguing to think, maybe with the start under the belt, coming out of that intriguing Prank race, Misintention at 6-1. Our Dark Horse Play today, horse number 6 in race number 6. Dark Horse Play today brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile in downtown Saratoga. All right, we will go to race number 4 today. $14,000 conditional claimers. 7 furlongs is the distance.
And I was just looking, 14 winners for Into Mischief at this meet. Prank being the lone firster to win for him, but he is. I rarely think of this way, but I'm interested in the syndication that Flightline get, and I'm interested in what type of stallion as a son of Tappet he is. But in the here and the now, Into Mischief, just unbelievable. 4-5-2 Charger, and it's not the Los Angeles or San Diego Chargers, but it's Charger, who was more competitive going starter allowance 2 races back than what I thought would have been the softer condition, but now gets an even softer price tag with the 3L. Linda Rice has had a very good meet, I would say, and Jose Lascano takes the mount. Here, this horse hasn't won in a long time, but when he won, going 7/8. For second, number 5, Cousteau, $40,000 claim. Very sharp claim, it appears, by Rob Atras. Had a voided claim on Independence Day. Makes the first start since then. And Critical Threat, who was a $50,000 claim for Mike Maker. Luis Saez gets in the mount aboard off of a 3rd place finish, going the mile. Now shortens up 4-5-2 in race 4.
10-5-2 and 3 for me. I put ampersand on top. Comes off the claim for Peter Walder, who's okay off the claim. Raced at a mile last time, goes 7 furlongs today. But more importantly, claim for 16, comes back for 14. So they're staying right at the level of the claim last time, which was a win. They are moving up a condition. That's always a little bit of an obstacle. But I think this one in a good spot today, looking at the rest of this bunch. Cousteau is probably the one to beat. But, yeah, as you say, they claimed the horse 2 starts ago, and it turned out to be a clever claim with a win in a second. So maybe financially off of those, this drop makes some sense, maybe. But boy, they claimed the horse for 40. They went in a starter allowance, and then they were in a 35 conditional last time with, again, a win in a second. But that 35,000 conditional claimer was a voided claim, and they come back for 14 today off a July 4th start. I don't know. As I say, could be the one to beat.
Wow.
I'm questioning the situation, though. Critical threat in the 3rd spot. Nice little 3rd place finish last time against maybe a little bit better. That was first off the claim. This one to me looks like, they had a kind of a questionable drop last time, claiming the horse for 52 back and coming back for 25, but ran an okay 3rd there. So I think the drop here today is one you can look at and say they just got realistic after they claimed the horse in the 4th, 10-5, 2 and 3.
On to the 5th, we have 3-year-olds and up, state breds, entry-level allowance, dashing 5.5 on the turf.
6, 8, 3 and 2. I thought the 1 was also playable. Just missed my mix, but I put Sheriff Bianco on top. Nice win 2 back down at Belmont, claimed out of that, then came up and tried this company last time up here at Saratoga and just missed. Irod Ortiz was on board that day. Sticks today. I like that. So I think off the near miss in a similar event last time, Sheriff Bianco is logical. 2nd slot, Anthony, who made the 3rd start of the season last time and ran a close-up 4th, but had won in the 2nd start of the season. So maybe that one was a little bit of a regression. Maybe we'll rebound today to closer to what we saw 2 back, and if so, Anthony becomes very, very contentious. And then Hudson Overpass in the 3rd spot. Seems to have a little bit of positional early speed. We're getting 30-1. This is the 3rd start back. I'm swinging a little bit here, admittedly, but I thought there was a little bit of early speed that potentially made this one interesting in the 3rd start back. So as I say, a little bit of a swing, but we'll see it at 20-1, 30-1 morning line price if that one can be a little bit interesting in the mix. I have it 6, 8, 3 and 2.
We have it similar. We just have our exacta inverted. I like Anthony. I think he's going to set a very good trip here. Matter of fact, last summer, Seth, I think it was opening day. I like this horse off of the 2 races at Belmont. That was rooting, but this seems to be the game, and Manny Franco has the mount back. He was aboard the starter allowance victory, 2 races back, tried this level for the first time, and raced well at almost 6-1 for 2nd. Sheriff Bianco looks to be a good claim for Linda Rice, a steady runner. Has scored here, dashing 5.5 on the turf. Looks like a career best performance last year on, I'm guessing that was Jockey Club Gold Cup Day last year. So that was Saturday for 3rd. Me and Sap, David Donk's runner, very sharp. 2nd start up here, just got beat a nose 8-6-4, and I was telling someone last night at the wedding that I can't believe a year ago, this was my day, the Sunday, not the date, but to be at Arlington for my only time of my life, and I was just telling about how I'd spoken to you, how great an experience it was, and I was glad I did it. They did a lot of things right, and it was a fun weekend for the family.
Yeah, sad to see Arlington go. 6th race today at Saratoga, maiden specials going 7 furlongs.
And you mentioned Prank earlier, and we have a couple runners that ran behind Prank that we're going to get a chance to see how they follow it up. We have a runner behind Chocolate Gelato. Chocolate Gelato's 2nd start, which was the explosive victory. I skipped all of them. There are 5 of them. I skipped all of them. There's 9 horses in the race. I took others in here, and 4, 1, 5. And I think I'm going to know rather early, Seth, if Pure Pauline, who's 3-1 on the morning line against the horse I've mentioned, if this horse isn't bet, that I'm up against it, that giving away the experience coming out of the prank race mostly, that they have an edge, and that the debut for Pure Pauline doesn't seem as if it's going to be enough to overcome it. Sharp workouts for the debut we can all see as an offspring of Curlin. This is another time when I would wonder to Todd Pletcher, has she been ready? But as with Echo again, which by the way I can confirm, they did wait to get the 6.5, but they wanted to go a little bit longer. Did they want to go a little bit longer for debut? 7/8 for second. Part of the entry scheduled break for the number 5, Binsky, Linda Rice's runner. A little bit better start. I think this offspring of Curlin will have a better finish. And then in between the two Curlins, a gun runner. Number 5, stunningly, making the second career start on debut, Independence Day, beaten favorite. Very intriguing 6th race, 4-1-5.
6, 3, 8, and 4, and I thought the 5 was also interesting, and you're stunningly coming out of that race behind Naughty Girl.
You took the prank trifecta.
But yeah,
okay. There you have it.
You know, and as I said when I talked about Misintention earlier as the dark horse play of the day, I said, going to be interested to see what these horses do coming out of that prank race, because that was one of the most impressive performances of the meet. I went with Misintention, again, the full sibling to Jane Gray, who was a debut winner and subsequently won here this year. Coming out of that prank race, well-beaten 4th. But I'll look for this one with a little win early breeding to rebound. St. Benedict's Prep was second behind prank last time. So again, intrigued to see what these runners can do, having run right behind, including my Betsy, who ran 3rd that day. So we'll see. I had Pure Pauline in the 4th space. Keen Pauline has produced a runner called Princess Pauline that was a winner a couple times. So again, it's Todd Pletcher and Stone Street. That one, I agree, could be very live. And again, stunningly, I think is a player. It is. It's a fun 6th race. I have it 6, 3, 8, and 4.
You know, it should be pointed out, I mean, stunningly might be very sharp today.
Yeah.
But it's the wrong day. You know, right
that
church.
Often happens up here at Saratoga.
Right church, wrong pew. You know, it just, you know, you got to watch sometimes and just the hard facts. You know, I'm forgetting the horse off my mind. A horse who, you know, from a trainer who doesn't win first out and ran great in a non-winning effort. On the 7th race, 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, open company, mile 16th on the inner.
I have it 4, 5, 7, and the 1A. I thought the 9 was also a little bit interesting. Free look on top for Chad Brown and Klarovich. A little bit of breeding here. Tappett's pretty good with first-time starters, but Chad and Klarovich are very good. So I'm going to put that one on top, beaten favorite, and with a nice closing effort last time. And we'll see if this one benefits from the experience. Keep left in the 2nd spot, Wesley Ward runner by Mendelson, who's pretty good with first-time starters. And there's a sibling called Fairyland that won its career debut. I think 12-1 is very generous here. I'll be interested to see what we wind up with. But if you get a price on Keep Left, take a look. And then Prover in the 3rd spot. Justify, obviously very good with the firsters. There's a sibling called Mubakar, who was 4th in debut, then had a couple of wins, but at lower-level UK venues. But it did have some win early there. So at 8-1, I think that one also intriguing. In the 7th, 4, 5, 7, and the 1A.
I have 4-2-1. If this race had been run before the PG Johnson, we might have had a small chance. But running behind Be Your Best, who was a demonstrative winner of the PG Johnson, I think we might be looking at even money here on free look. Be Your Best was a circle around winner on debut. This horse finished 3rd as the beaten favorite, but I think it's the horse to beaten here. But I think we're going to get you know, obviously the connections in Tappet was going to go a long way, but once Be Your Best showed that, you know, could follow it up for second, number 2. Usually I write it down. I apologize for that. Scheduled to break for the number 8 post position because we have a couple of AEs. We have a couple MTOs. Ken McPeak's runner comes out of the same race at 17-1. So I went against the prank horses coming back, but I'm with the Be Your Best horses. We'll see. And for 3rd from the rail, first-time starter Selenia. I don't know. We're going to find out in a little while. It's up to you, John Embrial. See the Moon, who is the son of the brilliant See the Stars. Just on pedigree for me, having Declaration of War on the bottom side. 4-2-1 in the 7th.
All right, we'll do another break. When we come back, continuing our look at Sunday Saratoga. Stay tuned. It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Varley and I'm here at the West Condominiums in Saratoga Springs. And guess what? We are down to the home stretch. Everything is 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. Come make a selection of one of the greatest condos ever to be built in Saratoga Springs. We're starting in the upper 5s and the only rooftop penthouse available now under construction. Wow, just look at this patio. We have a rooftop pool, heated garage, balconies, and a gym. Call me at 518-281-6808.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now. Welcome back to the Handicappers Report on a beautiful Saratoga Sunday morning. Don't forget, top of the hour, loose on the lead. Steve Beck is in the house. At least I see the back of his car. I haven't seen him, but I'm sure he's here with the cars.
What was that movie, Christine?
Wasn't that? I'm thinking the main writer.
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yeah,
totally
you're absolutely.
That was him, right? Christine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's definitely him. I was thinking.
I don't think this is a Christine situation.
No, I think Steve's there.
I think
we can.
Also, we'll be joined a little bit later on by Pat McKenna from New York Racing Association. Get a little recap action in for this very nice 2022 meet. And part of that 2022 meet is this penultimate day, and we'll get back to it with race number 8. Optional claimers, non-winners of 2 other than 3/4 of a mile is the trip.
146, Linda Rice sends out Piece of My Heart, drawing the rail, going 6. This horse has displayed good speed with Jose Ortiz in the saddle for the first time. Only a couple starts since the springtime. There's a $62,000 claim. Tried much. I think we talked about it at that time, where went to the 3X level, now back to the 2X and in for the tag, which is where this horse was before. For second, Boston Post Road, who just got beat a nose on August 4th, a day when I like this runner, offspring of Quality Road. That was going the mile, now shortens back up to a sprint, where this horse won on debut in 2021 in Palm Cottage. 9-5 on the board at the Paulo Lobo barn. Scored impressively at Ellis. That was on July 15th. 1-4-6.
I went 4, 1, 7, and 6, and the 6, I didn't quite know what to do with that horse. I mean,
almost like, what are you doing here? The meet's over.
But a 92 buyer off a long layoff. The 6, as they say, I may regret putting that one down in the 4th spot. I flipped your top 2, though. Yes. I put Boston Post Road on top. Tried the mile last time here at Saratoga and just missed. But cutting back to the 6, I think, is very interesting today. Piece of My Heart in the 2nd spot, as you can see, was disqualified after popping through the gate a little bit early. And I kind of looked at that race, didn't just pop through the gate, but then was all discombobulated, leapt up, and just had all kinds of trouble there. And still winds up running decently. So I think you draw a line through that race, and then you go to the ones just prior. They are clearly good enough. And then Dealing Justice in the 3rd slot was also in that race that Piece of My Heart was DQ'd from. And, you can see didn't run that well, but really wasn't involved in any of what Piece of My Heart was, but had kind of her own trouble at the start, and then seemed to get maybe rushed up. Has early speed, but seemed to, again, have a poor start that required getting rushed up a little bit. As I say, it wasn't the same trouble. This one was on the inside. Piece of My Heart was on the outside, so it wasn't the same trouble, but she kind of found her own little bit of trouble there that, as I say, got her to a slower start than maybe she wanted. So we'll look for a rebound with the early speed for Dealing Justice in the 8th. 4-1, 7 and 6.
On to the 9th. Remember, the rails are up on the Mellon Turf Course. State Bred's entry-level allowance, mile at 16.
5, the 1 entry, 6 and 10. I thought the 4, Timbuktu, was also intriguing, but I put Frank's Art on top. The entry is, are the 2 to beat. I think particularly Catch That Party. But I thought Frank's Art, being lightly raced with an improving number, start 1 to start 2, some experience at the non-winners at 1 level last time, being lightly raced, maybe some upside potential. I'll take a little pop with Frank's Art in here. But again, the 1 Sundays with Sandy, the 1A Catch That Party are probably the ones to beat, 1A being the more intriguing and probably more potent part of the entry. And then Lord Flintshire in the 3rd spot. Showed a little punch last time, getting the lead late and then just getting caught by Catch That Party. But again, if you look down and just look at what this, the overall resume, I think it's a square fit for with this bunch for Lord Flintshire. So for me, 5, the 1 entry, 6 and 10.
I have Frank's Art making the 3rd career start of Flavian Pride. In the saddle for the first time, Joel rode this horse to victory at 10-1 in debut, was favored versus winners earlier in the meet. Will probably be favored. No, probably won't be favored, actually. Especially if the...
Catch That Party's going to take action.
What?
Catch That Party's going to take action.
Yeah, I think and if it's the entry is going to be the favorite, definitely. If Catch That Party ends up being by themselves, maybe, because it should be noted, Catch That Party is on the far outside. It's the 1A, it drew the far outside. The 12 is MTO. Lord Flintshire adds blinkers, going to be very competitive. They both, I think, have an advantage on the post because I got it wrong the other day when we were talking about Indemnify and Transitional. Indemnify was going to be probably 3 to 5 by himself. Sundays with Sandy, I don't think is helping enough with the odds for Catch That Party, who's taking 1 starter allowance as the chalk. Draws a tough post position again today. I think Frank's Art is just really, going to score the victory in here. So I am 5-6, 1A, because I want no part of the 1 in case the 1A scratches out of here. Up to our final break. When we come back, the pick 3.
No matter where in the world you are, the excitement of wagering on horse racing is just a click away. You'll get live streaming, past performances, race replays, our virtual tote board, analysis and selections from professional handicappers, a simple, safe, and secure wagering platform, and best of all, you get track prices. CapitalOTBBet.com. Bet any place, anytime at CapitalOTBBet.com. And be sure to download our new mobile app from the iTunes Store or Google Play.
What if there was a way to become a better horse player, to have a better knowledge of the game, to be more successful? What if there were a way to take what you've learned, what you know, and make better decisions, better choices? In horse racing, knowledge is a powerful tool. Race results and replays, past performances and live streaming, wagering from all your digital devices. Capital OTB. Become a better horse player.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report. And as I said, the penultimate day of the meet. Sunday's 10th race. We're on the turf for State Bred Maiden Specials. They will go 9 furlongs.
And what I'm doing now on my laptop, even though much of it I kind of know off the top of it, we ran the 2 right away. Those were the unique 3-year-old optionals 80, 1X early in the meet. We don't run this distance on this turf course very often, so we ran 2 right away. So I'm like, oh, we're changing times. But then we took a 30-day gap, and now we've run a couple back at them, 4, 3, 6, and I've always wanted to know why. I just don't get it. I like it because I think when you have turf racing, you have a long run to the first turn. Jockeys have professionally a very good opportunity to get the position they want versus we run a lot of mile 16th races on the inner, but we just don't do it. I'm going to be there close, but I'm 4, 3, 6 in this field of 9, and Cape Cod Causeway, Mark Henning's runner. Mark is off the duck, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's see. 3 of them so far. The 2 were very early, and we ran the one the other day with Bye Bye Melvin beat me. But Trevor McCarthy gets him out. Second start of the summer, ran well at almost 40 to 1. We're not going to receive that price in the 6th career start. And Creative Cause was a definite under the radar quality middle distance, whether it was synthetic or turf stallion. So I'll take Cape Cod Causeway, my top pick. Number 3, La Victoria for Todd Pletcher, off of the Saratoga race last year, September 1, came back on August 11th. And as I said, I don't care about layoffs anymore. Finished 3rd. Irad's just going to move forward. And for 3rd, number 6, Bill Mott's runner makes the 3rd start. And I think we're going to see the best performance to date. We'll see if it's good enough. 4, 3, 6.
I'm hoping for that 6, 3, 2, and 4 for me. I thought the 7 also interesting. But Jacosity, not just the 3rd start here at the meet. 3rd start of the career, 3rd start of the meet. Might be primed for a nice effort this afternoon. I tilted in that direction, not with a lot of confidence. I don't know whether you land anywhere with a lot of confidence in here. La Victoria, again, comes back off the long layoff, takes the lead, and then just misses, finishing behind Succulent. I have those 2 and 3. I'm looking to switch things up. I often say sometimes we get too clever and they run the same spot. But I did put La Victoria over Succulent because Succulent has that come from the cloud style that always puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage. But what we saw last time says, it has to be tossed in the mix at this 1 1/8, you would think. So for me, in the 10th, 6, 3, 2, and 4.
And I don't know what the numbers are, but I know they've run the spinaway more than the hopeful. 2-year-old fillies going 7/8 to grade 1. And what surprised me here, 3 runners out of the Adirondack, only 1 out of the Schuylerville. Because trainers love this time thing so more, and that's kind of turned it on its head.
9, 1, 8, and 4. The 5, Just Cindy. Boy, I left that one out, but I pulled it into the 5th spot. But this is a fun race, and Just Cindy is very playable. But Wonder Wheel had Mark Cassian the other day, and if you watch that interview, he talked about this horse right at the end and really listed a few horses. He said, I think she's as good at or maybe better than, and he listed a few of his really good horses, and I thought, okay, I'll buy into it. Wonder Wheel on top. Kaling had a very nice debut for Todd Pletcher. And I think bodes well for, this is a big ask to move into this kind of company, but in this day and age, these are all pretty lightly raced horses. So Kaling in the 2nd spot, same scenario with the Rudy Bissett horse, Aunt Shirley, who went out and won nicely down at Ellis. And the Ellis 2-year-old season the last few years has been very salty. So I thought Aunt Shirley was maybe a little bit playable as well with Irod Ortiz on board. 9, 1, 8, and 4.
9, 8, 10 here. Wonder Wheel already has stakes experience. That was in the debutante, won by a pole. Johnny V takes them out. Tyler Gaffleone had ridden this horse in the first 2 career victories. Aunt Shirley is my 2nd pick. The offspring of Justify, won on debut with moisture in the racetrack. And American Rocket won an off the turfer. And that would usually be like you get demoted or something for that. But I think this offspring American Pharaoh is going to be okay today. 9, 8, 10 in the prestigious Spinaway.
Frank Fletcher with American Rocket. They had a nice feature on him on the Fox show yesterday, I'm sure you can pull it up. University of Arkansas guy, and he wears those colors a lot. And I now have a great nephew who entered University of Arkansas just a couple of weeks ago. 12th race today at Saratoga, scheduled for a 6:45 post time, 6 furlongs the trip for state-bred maiden claimers.
What's their thing, Suey or something?
Yeah, Suey.
All right.
You got it.
Okay. 3, 1, 10 for me. I don't have it. Making the 4th career start, the 3, for Safi Joseph, who's really had a very nice meet, almost quietly, but I think, well, Irad takes them out. Scheduled break for the number 10 post position. First time in for a tag. Might be part of the Seth's top pick here. The 1, Tough Street, is the one that I want in here, coming off of a turf sprint for the seasonal debut. And then Raz, who I thought was going to run better on Saratoga debut, but didn't. And that was with blinkers, and they're not saying blinkers off. So we'll see. 3, 1, 10 for me.
1 entry, 3, 6, and 7. I think both halves of the entry are playable, but I probably slightly prefer Tough Street. But off the last race from Jet Set Juliet, I think they both probably have a little bit of an edge on this bunch. Mooley in the second spot. The race 2 back was pretty good, but it was in June on the synthetic down at Gulfstream. The dirt debut, though, was okay. Probably fits okay with this bunch. I think we'll, again, be very competitive in here, and that Irad Ortiz takes the mount is notable, and quiet type. Plenty of experience, let's put it that way. Hasn't gotten it done yet, but I think on the little drop down the claiming ladder fits with this group. In the 12th, 1, 3, 6, and 7.
All right, he stays, I go. It is a glorious Sunday of Labor Day weekend. If you get a chance, it's hard to beat this for a day at the races. We have plenty of choices, 12 races. Remember, 12:35 today and tomorrow. Up next, Loose on the Lead.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.